Today's video is titled Christian Idolatry, the Worship of Molech, Then and Now. The Worship of Molech, Then and Now. Okay, so let's give a little backstory on who is Molech. During the times of the Israelites, there was this idol called Molech. And what this idol would do basically is it would accept children, and people would sacrifice their children to this god so that their crops would be better. So basically, they would say, okay, if I sacrifice one of my children to Molech, then I will have a good crop this year, so that I'll be able to feed my family, etc. Okay? Now, Molech is one of the idols that are set up by the devil to basically have child sacrifice. And that's exactly what that was in those days. And this is very quick uh, backstory on who Molech is. Okay. Now, this idol, basically, what they would do is that have this idol, it looks like a goat, a bull, or something. All idols always look kind of strange. Why is it that idols look so nasty? They're so stupid. But anyway, that's another story. So what they would do is they would put the fire into this thing and heat it up so that it was hot. And then they would bring their children to Molech while this thing is heated and put their children on these mechanical hands that this thing had. And because it was white hot or red hot, the child would be incinerated as soon as they put them onto this idol. And some of the children probably didn't weren't incinerated, but of course they were crying and wailing or whatever. And what these people did was that they would literally have like instruments and be dancing around and playing instruments to drown out the cries of their children being incinerated by this thing. And in the Bible, the Lord abhorred it. He just absolutely abhorred what they were doing to their children. And you see that there's scripture that actually refers to Molech in the Bible. And hopefully we'll put some on the screen here so you can see that. All right, so you would think that that's heinous enough. But today, we are still doing the same things that the Israelites did in the olden days, sacrificing the children. So nothing has changed because the devil is always going to use what is effective for him. So today, the worship of Molech today is actually in the abortionaries, the places where children are actually burned with saline instead of actually putting them on some sort of statue. And of course, we know that Planned Parenthood is one of the biggest places where children are being sacrificed to the tune of 3,000 a day in the United States. So we see people sacrificing their children in the olden days by putting them into a statue and burning them up. And then today, we see people sacrificing their children by burning them out with saline. The worship of Molech is alive and well today, with Roe v. Wade and with Planned Parenthood being the place where these things happen. So, as you see on the screen, worship of Molech of old and the worship of Molech in the new. What's changed? Not a thing. Don't believe a word I'm saying, Christian. Take a look at this for yourself. And then ask Jesus to confirm if what I'm saying is true. Your salvation is your responsibility, Christian. And this is just a means to show you that the devil has not changed his tactics. He's still burning up children. He is still feeding Baal with child sacrifice. And as he continues to do that, the church sits there and does nothing. Maybe now that they know that this is the same thing that was done in the olden days, that they're doing it now under a new guise, maybe they'll do something to be able to save the children.